A lot of people hear bronze, silver, and gold and think medallion architecture is just three folders with fancy names. It's not. It's a way to organize data so raw data stays trustworthy, clean data stays reusable, and business data stays easy to consume. In the next few minutes, I will show you what each layer actually does, why this pattern exists, and then I will walk one clickstream event for bronze to silver, silver to gold, so the whole thing really sticks. Hello everyone, welcome to Big Data Fact. I am Ranit and I have 4 plus years of experience working as a data engineer. If this is your first time visiting this channel, don't forget to subscribe for more content on big data and real world insights. So first, what is Medallion Architecture? Medallion Architecture is a logical data design pattern where data gets progressively improved as it moves through 3 layers: bronze, silver and gold. Bronze is raw data, silver is validated and refined data, and gold is business ready data. The keyword here is logical. This does not always mean 3 complete separate systems. The important thing is that the responsibilities are separated clearly as data moves through the pipeline. Now, why does this architecture even exist? Because if you ingest data, clean it, join it, and aggregate it all in one step, everything becomes harder. Debugging gets painful, reprocessing gets messy, and source changes can break downstream logic. Medallion architecture solves this by separating concerns. Bronze protects the original data, silver improves the quality, and gold serves the business. That step-by-step separation is the whole point. Let's start with the bronze. Bronze is the landing zone for the raw data. This is where you store the raw data as it arrives from the source, usually with little to no cleanup. Think raw clickstream JSON, Kafka events, CSV drops, or CDC records. Bronze usually grows over time, preserves history, and acts as a source of truth for replay, auditing, and backfills. And here is an important technical detail. Bronze is not where you try to perfect the data. In fact, teams often keep validation minimal here. And if source commands are unstable, they may even store many fields as string or semi-structured values first, so schema changes do not cause dropout data. Now comes silver, and this is where most of the real data engineering work happens. Silver is where raw data becomes trustworthy. This is where you enforce schema, cast data types, handle nulls, remove duplicates, resolve late arriving or out of order records, run data quality checks, and join datasets when needed. A very important idea here is that silver should keep at least one validated non-aggregated version of the data. In other words, silver is still detailed data, just clean and reliable. This is usually the layer data engineers, analysts, and data scientists can work with when they need trustworthy records without jumping all the way back to the raw source data. Then we have gold. Gold is the business layer. It is not just more clean data. Gold contains highly refined datasets designed across business logic and consumption. This is where you create things like daily active users, customer spending, weekly sales, conversion by channel, or dashboard ready fact tables. Gold usually has fewer datasets than bronze and silver because it is focused on what the business actually needs. It is often aggregated, semantically meaningful, and optimized for reporting and dashboards and downstream analytics. Now let's make this real with one example. Suppose a clickstream event arrives saying user 101 viewed product P123 at 10:42 on mobile. In bronze, we store that event in its raw form, maybe along with ingestion metadata like the source file name or load time. In silver, we parse the timestamp correctly, cache the IDs to the right types, remove duplicates if the same event arrived twice, handle missing values, and make sure the record matches the expected schema. If needed, we can also join reference data like product metadata to make the event more usable. In gold, we usually stop thinking about that one raw event by itself. Instead, we think about what business metric it contributes to. That same event may now feed tables like product views by day, user engagement metrics, or conversion reporting. This is the real power of architecture. The same piece of raw data becomes progressively more useful as it moves through the layers. Here are the mistakes I often see. First, people skip bronze and write directly into curated tables. That sounds faster, but it makes replay, auditing, and debugging much harder. Second, they treat silver like another raw dump and never really enforce data quality. But silver is exactly where validation, deduplication, and consistency should happen. Third, They dump too much detail into gold. Gold should be business driven, not just a copy of everything from silver. And one honest point, medallion architecture is a recommendation pattern, not a rule that every tiny project must follow. But even in smaller projects, keeping these responsibilities clear makes your pipeline much easier to reason about. So if someone asks you to explain Medallion architecture in one clean answer, say this. Medallion architecture is a layered data design pattern where bronze stores raw source data, silver stores validated and refined data, and gold stores business ready data optimized for analytics. The reason it works is simple. You preserve the original data, improve quality step by step, and expose the right version of the data to the right consumers. Once that clicks, bronze, silver, and gold stop feeling like buzzwords and start feeling like a very practical way to build a reliable pipeline. If you want, in the next video, I can show you how to implement this with a real project using Spark. If this helped, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment Databricks so I know to continue the Databricks series. This is all for today. We'll meet in the next video. Till then, keep learning and keep building. Bye bye.